here's the thing. Here's the thing. My mentor in Australia, when he showed me this, when Matthew showed me this, he said, Vin, right, I've just proved to you anything can be achieved. I was like, what? What? This man's crazy. And he said to me, well, let me explain, and I'll explain to you as he explained to me. He said to me, Vin, right at the start, when I asked you and all your team to change 33 things about the way you look or your appearance, how were you feeling? And I said, well, Matthew, I felt like it was highly improbable. Yeah. Not impossible, highly improbable. And he said to me, no, Vin, you're wrong. I mean, think about how you felt just now. I mean, I see people give in. I see people give up. The moment I said change 33, people think, no, it cannot be done, and people laugh, and then they kind of do this. No, it's a universal sign for giving up, I think. And you just thought it couldn't be done. There was a mental block. You didn't take the first step. You just didn't. You made an assumption. You assumed it was impossible or highly improbable. Then he said to me, Vin, when I asked you to change one thing about your appearance, how did you feel? I said, oh, well, it was easy. And I think all of you just didn't even think. There was no mental block. You just took the first step. You changed one thing. You even had fun. And you see, then I asked you to change one more thing. How did you feel? Yeah, I can do this. You don't think, we just do. You see, if I had the time and I wanted to bore you all to death, I could have stood up here and said, change one more thing, change one more thing, change one more thing, times 33. Every single one of you in this room, whether you initially believed it could be done or not, you would have changed 33 things about your appearance. My friends, challenges moving forward will always appear impossible, but it's not real. As long as you take things one step at a time, you never fall victim to a silo mentality. You always ensure you protect your environment, the top 5. You bring in the best and only the highest quality of people. And you ensure that you have strong beliefs, that you believe that it can be done. And where do our beliefs come from? This is where it becomes full circle now. Our beliefs come from the top 5 people we spend time with. That's where they come from. If you've got self-limiting beliefs, change the people you spend time with, and your beliefs change with them. So I'll leave you one last thing. To do or to say that anything is possible, one must therefore do the most impossible thing. Something in this box here, actually. There was a lady who joined me on stage before, and she thought of an animal. I'm not sure where she is. There's something in here I'd like to show you. I think you'll find this rather intriguing. Might be dead, but I'm not sure. Could she join me back on stage? Where is she? Could she join me back on stage, please? Do you mind coming back on stage? Please give her a big round of applause as she joins us. Big round of applause. Please keep it going for her as she comes up. I'd like to show you what's inside. I have it's slimy. No, I'm kidding. Just building suspense with that. But you see, I always keep a jar with a scroll of paper inside, and I keep it on the side at all times. If you could just take that out for me. Thank you very much indeed for that. Don't open it just yet. And as I leave it in the glass jar, I always have a scroll, as I said, and I always write on this scroll how I think this keynote is going to go. So if you could just stand over here for me, if you don't mind. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Ruth. And just here, hold that in for me. The first thing I always write down is who's going to think of the number 7 and the number 3. And thank you very much. And I thought to myself, well, what would that person look like? So I wrote down a few things about you. First thing I wrote was medium, brown hair. But it has streaks of blonde, so not exactly right, not very impressive. You seem very unimpressed. So I wrote a few other things as well. I wrote that you would have black shoes. Again, statistically correct. Most people wear black shoes to conferences, but also, one more little thing, red top. Now, the next thing was, I asked you to think of any animal you wanted. And what animal did you think of? Whale. And everyone laughed at me. So I drew it just to make sure. So clearly, yeah, no, thank you. Clearly a whale. Could you confirm for everyone? That's clearly a whale. Thank you. The Australian whales look different. So that's clearly a whale. I knew you would laugh again, so I had to just be sure my drawing skills didn't let me down. I wrote, I'm a whale. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Hang on to this. There's a bit more. Thank you. Brilliant. Just hang on to this. Thank you. Thank you, Ruth. So, you see, now here's the thing. The most impossible thing is not to innovate. The most impossible thing is not you achieving all the dreams you desire. It is not. It's highly probable for you to do these things. You just have to be able to bear failure at least 50 to 100 times. It's been done. If you're willing to do this, you will find a way to do things differently. The most impossible thing, statistically speaking, that I can find on this earth is winning the lottery. In Australia, 7 numbers you have to get to win the jackpot. That is 1 out of 45,360,147. Those 7 numbers there are today's lottery. If you don't mind reading the lowest numerical number there, I've also written down 7 numbers. 5, ladies and gentlemen, here's the first one. 5. It's only 1, don't panic. Thank you. Next one, please, if you don't mind, Ruth. Thank you. 8. I gave you a chance to change your mind. I asked you, change your mind, go for it, do it. And only one of you did, but it wasn't 8. You stuck, and 8. 11. And you, thank you so much for that. That was the perfect one you changed to, so thank you. Next one. 14. Just building the suspense again. So it's important. 14, thank you. 22. Again, I told you, the follower, don't change. Oh, but you didn't change your mind. Thank goodness you didn't. Next. 27, my friends. Now you've won $38.50. It's rather exciting at this point. Yes, next one. 44. Where's the person who thought of 44? Please stand. Where are you? I thank you very much indeed for this. Like a crescendo at the end of an orchestra, could you name the number in the loudest voice you possibly can? The last number, 1 out of 45 million, is... Sorry, it's an Australian accent, it's horrible. So, like a crescendo, I'm going to get you to name your number that you chose in a very loud voice so we can make this very dramatic. So the last number for 1 out of 45 million is... 44, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, 44. Big round of applause. Oh, sorry, please stay standing. Wait, sorry. No, I get this. Were you thinking of the number 43 before 44? No, not even to save the show. Thank you for that, it's very kind. No, but I'm so glad you stuck with that decision, because if you didn't, this next part probably wouldn't really make sense, would it? Because if you add the 1, of course it equals 44. Big round of applause. Thank you so much for that, Ruth. Thank you, you're amazing. Thank you so much indeed for that. Brilliant, good. Thank you. I'll leave you with one last quote from Steve Jobs, my friends. Please remember, perspective, influence, and beliefs. And I'll leave you with a quote from Steve Jobs. Everyone's aware of Steve Jobs, obviously. The best company in the world. I give them money every 6 months, and they give me an iPad in return. It's fantastic. Lovely. You see, Steve had this beautiful metaphor, or this beautiful quote that he'd always say. It's inspired me for more than 15 years of my life. And he would always say this: those people in the world who are crazy enough to believe that they can change the world, they are the people who actually do. Those of you in this room who are crazy enough to believe that you can change the world and achieve all the dreams you desire, you are crazy enough to believe this, then you are the people who will. Good luck, my friends. Thank you. Thank you very much.